Hello, everyone. I am back. I am Jennifer Carey back here and just making sure the technology is working okay. Whoever is out there, can you hear me and can you see me? Please let me know so that I know that it's going well and you can hear me. I am Jennifer Carey. I am here as the host and as your illuminator. I'm here to help illuminate your desires and dreams. I am here to help illuminate the stories or obstacles that are getting in the way of you and your dreams. And I am here to help illuminate the light that is already inside of you, the unique light that is you. So, for all those reasons, I am here to illuminate. And today's live session, I have 3 steps that I want to share with you about your roadmap to your dreams. So, I want to share 3 ways to guide you in getting to your dreams or your desires. You'll need a pen or a pencil and a journal because I'm planning to go through the steps for you to get to your dreams, to obtain your dreams and your desires and joy in this life. And so I will be going through each of those 3 steps. And within each step, I will be giving you an experiential exercise that you can use to help you put those steps into action. So there's going to be 3 steps. So I'll go through each of those, like I said. And then during and after, I'm really excited to answer any questions that you may have. So please do not hesitate to make comments or ask questions if you feel comfortable doing so. And this can be very interactive, which I would love. I have it up here so that I can see any of your comments. So, speaking of comments, I'm in New England and today was a beautiful day. And so I'm curious where people are from. So if you're on here and you're listening and you want to tell me where you're from and what the weather was like for you today, that would be a great start. So, again, I'm planning to share with you 3 steps to help you move toward your dreams. And then at the very end, I am planning to do what I'm calling the OM prize, the OM prize. And the OM prize is for anyone who is here and has stayed throughout the whole session live. I will put your name into a raffle. Is it still called a raffle if it's not a ticket? I don't know, but I'm planning to put your name into something and shaking it. And whose ever name I pull, you can tell me if you want an oracle card pulled. I have specific oracle cards here, or if you want a song prescribed. So, those of you that know me know that I really believe in the power of music and believe that we can use music and other creative art forms to help break through obstacles or stories that are holding us back. So you have the choice. I can pull an oracle card, which I've been told I can channel whatever the magic is that helps the oracle card be spot on, and I can also prescribe a song for you. And for those of you who really do not want to share anything specific, it's okay. You can just tell me whether or not you want the oracle card or the song prescribed, and I will just do it. I can just tell you what song is coming to my head, or I can pull the oracle card for you, and you don't have to share anything personal or anything like that. So, on that note, I do, it's interesting for me to know what level of involvement people wish to have. Um, there's some people who I think watch these live streams and they love being involved, and then there's other people who, they don't really want to comment or things like that. So, um, I'd love to hear from anybody who wants to share, if you like being interactive, type yes in the comments. And if you don't, you can type no. So, uh, all right. So let me start with the first step. So again, I'm going to be giving you 3 steps to help you move toward your dreams. So the first step is just knowing your dream, knowing what you want, knowing what brings you joy. In my book that I'm writing, Illuminating the Stories That Bind Us, I call these nudges, like little signals we get on our heart, little messages that basically say, this brings me joy. This is something that I really want to do in my life. And it's really important that we listen to that, or that we at least know, right? We at least give ourselves a chance to acknowledge something that does light us up, something that does feel like a dream or desire that we wish to follow. So that is the first step. So the very first step is knowing your dream, knowing what you want, and just being aware and clear about that desire. So, for those of you who would like to just give it a try, maybe maybe you already know what brings you joy and what you want, whether it has to do with a hobby, or it has to do with a job or career, or it has to do with a relationship, or maybe it has to do with something else that I'm not even naming, that you want more of in your life, that it is your dream to have more of blank in your life. Um, so, what I am going to invite those of you who do not know, which it's totally okay if you don't know what you want, that happens to a lot of us. And sometimes knowing what we don't want is just as helpful as knowing what we want. But those of you that do want to just spend some time right now, I invite you to just put a hand on your heart and just take a moment and just feel your heartbeat, which is kind of cool sometimes to like feel your heartbeat and know how that just happens without you even telling it to. Sometimes just connecting to that can be really calming. And then just asking yourself, what brings your heart joy? And just letting any of that come to your mind. So, what brings your heart joy? What is something that you want to incorporate more into your life because it brings you joy? And then just asking yourself another question: how? How can you incorporate more of that in your life? So this is more of kind of the dream in a bigger picture, right? So you know the dream, and then how does it look when it's more incorporated into your life, when you have more of whatever it is that brings your heart joy in your life. So that's the first step, right? I told you there were 3 steps. So that's the first step. Is there anyone that feels okay either just putting an emoji in the comments or something, or typing I have a dream, just letting me know that you were able to get clear on step 1? And remember, there's no judgment if you don't. If you don't know what you want in this life, you don't know what you desire, you don't know what you're dreaming about or what you want, that's okay too. And we can talk more about that in the other 2 steps in terms of what's getting in the way of you knowing and accessing what you really want. Oh, yay! So we have some dreams. I have a dream. I have a dream. So we have some people who are clearer. Thank you, Laura and Rosie, about what they really want. Wonderful. And again, for those of you who don't, that's okay. That's all right. You do not need to get stuck on that. And you can see in the next 2 steps that you will still be able to get more information. So let's move on to step 2. For step 2, I want us to think about what is in between you and achieving that dream or desire. So, whether it was about a hobby or a job or a relationship or something, even something else, some other expression in this life that brings you joy and lights you up, uh, just step 2 is knowing what keeps you from doing those things. So what are the stories or the obstacles between you and what you wrote in number 1? So that's step 2. So right now, I'm going to invite you on your own to close your eyes again. And so in this space of closing your eyes this time, I want you to imagine that you are on one side of a street. So there you're standing on one side of a street, maybe on a sidewalk. Just allow your imagination to show you. It's amazing what your imagination will show you. So just trust that and go with that. So you're on one side of the street and you're looking across the street. And across the street is your dream. And so you may see your dream written on a sign, or you may see the person, or you may see the job or the career, or you may see the hobby, or you may see whatever it is that you feel is something that you dream about, brings your heart joy. That's on the other side of the street. So again, just allow your imagination to show you whatever that is. And now that you're imagining it, and so for those of you who could not see something in number 1, maybe there's other information that you're getting in this step that is showing you why you struggle with knowing what you want, right? Whatever's coming up, write it down, note it. Can you just walk across the street to that dream? If you can, in your imagination, I invite you to just walk across the street and go reunite with the dream or the desire that you hope to have more often in your life, right? For those of you who aren't able to just walk across the street, there's some sort of obstacle coming the way. There's some sort of car passing. There's something coming up that's making it difficult for you to just step towards your dream that's across the street. Something is stopping you. I want you to write down whatever comes to you, whatever obstacles, whatever thoughts, whatever stories, whatever feelings are coming up for you. Please write down. It's all information. You don't have to judge it as good or bad, right or wrong. Just write it down and know that that is an obstacle. And so you're standing on either side of the street, right? You're on this side of the street. For those of you who weren't able to just walk across the street and live out the dream or the desire, and you've written down the stories or the obstacles, I want you to choose one of those. One of those stories or obstacles, and I want you to choose one that you feel empowered to take a closer look at. So there's one of those that feels like, you know what, I can I can look at this. I can take a closer look and understand this more right now. And for those of you that feel comfortable, and again, no pressure, sharing the obstacle or story that came up for you when you thought you could just walk across the street and step towards your dreams, but you couldn't. If anyone feels comfortable, and if you don't, that is okay too. This live is for your own personal growth. Just sometimes it can get us more engaged, but it's okay if you don't. So hopefully, so step 1, you've identified something that you want more of in your life because it brings you joy, it lights you up, you know it. That was step 1. Step 2, we are looking at the obstacles, the thoughts, the stories that get in the way of you and your dream, right? Now it's step 3. So step 3 is how? How are you going to get across the street? For those of you who saw that there were obstacles and you couldn't get across the street. So I'm going to share with you different interventions that I have used to help me get across the street to my dreams. So I write about all of these in my book, and I'm going to give you a really good preview for them right now. So, some of these interventions will actually involve you seeking help from other people. Those of you who have heard my podcasts in the last 2 weeks and then again this week, it's all about how we can't go about this alone. We need other people. All it does is take one person to believe in us and encourage us and support us to be able to reach our dreams and to be able to work through obstacles. So some of them are going to involve that, and I will talk more about that. Some of them aren't, or you don't need anyone else. Some of these interventions that I'm going to share with you, you don't need anyone else, right? So, the first one I'm going to share is something that you've already done. You've already done it in here, and that is mindfulness. I always say awareness is 50% of the solution. And when I think about mindfulness, I know sometimes we think like meditation, and meditation is a type of mindfulness, but I like to think about mindfulness as awareness, as just being aware, being mindful of things. And when we are mindful of what we want, and when we are mindful of what gets in the way of us achieving what we want and what we desire, we have 50% of the solution. We're already empowered by that awareness. So the more mindful you are, the more you are already making a difference. So first is just mindfulness, being open and curious about questions and becoming more aware of yourself and your thoughts and your feelings. So you've already done that today. So go, everyone who has already been doing that, like high fives through the laptop. All right. So next, the next one is journaling. So you've already done that in here too. The next intervention to help you overcome obstacles or stories that get in the way of you achieving your dreams is journaling. Uh, being able to get stories outside of yourself, being able to get whatever you feel like is the obstacle and write it down gives you so much more access to it. So, journaling is really huge. The next one I have is any kind of spiritual practice. So, meditation, yoga, prayer, faith, 12-step programs, whatever it is, any kind of, if you believe, and for those of you who don't believe, that's okay. We have other interventions. But for those of you who believe in something higher or bigger, it can really help you to have spiritual practices and rituals to help you break through those obstacles. Whether it's just believing that you are loved and you have something to give this world, or whether it's believing that what is on your heart is something that is purposeful and meaningful, or any, those are all kind of spiritually related and can be really helpful. The next one is bibliotherapy. Anybody out there know what bibliotherapy is? Is there anyone? I know there's always a delay, but if you know what bibliotherapy is, you can comment here. And I'll pause for a second. Again, I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more interventions I'm going to be sharing with you. Again, I literally like copied and pasted for my manuscript these interventions that I've learned that have helped me. Yes, Rosie, you are so good. Books and reading. Bibliotherapy is when we use books and reading to help ourselves, to help ourselves heal, learn, and grow. So bibliotherapy is huge. I have used so many self-help books to help motivate me, to help me see things differently, to help me break through whatever I'm perceiving as limited, whatever I'm seeing as like, oh, I can't achieve this dream because blank. Self help books have helped me see it differently or apply some sort of knowledge or some sort of wisdom and guidance to help me break through. So thank you, Rosie. You were spot on. That's great. Um, Okay. So the next one is, and I know you're going to be like, oh, of course she's going to say this one, but bear with me. I have lots of other ones. This one is requiring another person, and that is psychotherapy. So, any type of therapy is going to help you discover the stories and just being able to voice it with someone who's objective, someone who is there to believe in you and cheer you on, somebody who has expertise and knows how to help you change your perspective or shift your perspective or try to help you change some of the thoughts and be more positive and believe like any one of those things, just that supportive energy is going to help you overcome those obstacles that are between you and your dream. So there are many types of psychotherapy, and I do talk about specific ones that I have particularly found helpful. So one is creative and expressive arts therapy. Creativity, art, music, drama, dance, movement, poetry, play, all of these things I have experienced are powerful to help us break through our obstacles. And again, like I said in the beginning of this, and like you'll hear all the time, if you have trouble thinking about that, think about when you were going through something difficult and a song either helped validate where you were, like let's say a breakup, the song just touched you and just helped you exactly with what you were feeling about that loss. And now think about a song that really motivated you or helped you feel that you were powerful and that you could do something. I can't even begin to just explain all the ways that creative and expressive arts therapy has a way to tap into power and confidence from deep within. And just sometimes the other talk therapy and things like that just can't touch it in the same way. I also talk about performing arts therapy. So that's when you are witnessed. So, whatever art form or anything that you're doing, someone seeing you do it in a safe and supportive way just increases its intensity and its effectiveness. Another therapy is narrative therapy. So, I love this one. Narrative therapy is the idea that you are the author of your life, you hold the pen. You're writing the book of your life. So you have the ability to rewrite. You could rewrite something in the past that no longer serves you, that is just becoming problematic and serving as an obstacle. So maybe one of those obstacles that you had when you were trying to cross the street had to do with something from the past that maybe you failed at or something. Well, you hold the pen and you can change that. And you can separate yourself from that story. Love narrative therapy. Internal family systems. Oh goodness, I've had other live sessions where I go really deep into parts work and internal family systems. All I can say is that we have a lot of parts that hold stories, and they think that they're protecting us because they most likely are trying to protect like a wounded part, or they're trying to manage certain parts within us. So we may have a perfectionist that's trying to make sure we never get make a mistake again or fail in any way. And we understand that part has its purpose, but if it works too hard, it may never want us to try something that we really love or that brings us joy because it's afraid of failing. So that part is actually getting in the way, and the story it's holding is getting in the way. So, again, this is how that therapy can be really helpful. Laughter. Laughter is really good. Laughter really helps us shift and see things different. It helps us relax. It helps us connect with other people. It helps us not take things too seriously. And if you think about it, just even laughter may help you walk across the street or take a step towards your dreams. Another intervention is a life coach. My podcast last week was all about the life coach that I worked with. Coaches can be really helpful, whether it's an accountability coach, a self discovery coach, an art coach, an executive coach, a business coach. Coaches can help us, cheer us on, believe in us, break things down, and achieve our dreams. So some of the beginning ones were ones that you just needed yourself. Some of those interventions were just ones that all you need was yourself. And these are ones where it's helpful to have someone else, like therapy or a coach. Shamanic healing. It's, again, a little bit out of the box, but it's a way to help you, in so many words, communicate with your soul. So you're usually guided in some sort of meditation that helps you speak to your subconscious or whatever, your intuition, your soul, whatever feels right, whatever terminology resonates for that, if you are open to it. Hypnotherapy and EMDR. Sometimes the blocks that we have and the stories that we have and obstacles that we have are so ingrained that we actually have to be in like a different state to be able to access it. Our logical brain is going to keep blocking it, and so sometimes we need something to kind of break those defenses down. And then last but not least, I do share about my podcast, Illuminating Stories That Bind Us. It's a way to break down your stories because there's a really good chance that someone else shared on the podcast a story that you are talking about, like whether it's an imposter story or a story of not feeling like you're good enough or a story that's feeling you're too much. All of those are on the podcast, and hopefully more will keep coming in. And so when you listen to the podcast, you can relate to the person that's sharing that story. And then I also meet with authors and coaches and therapists to talk about ways to break through stories. So that would be helpful as well. So now we got through that. I want you to, so let's just recap real quick. You've named the desire or the dream. You've shared what obstacles get in the way of you imagining yourself obtaining that dream, what stories you have, what thoughts you have, what anything else that gets in the way. And now you've learned some ways to break through those stories. That was the third thing. You learn some ways that you could ask for someone else's help or you could help yourself. I want you to choose one. I want you to choose one thing that you're planning to try to help you break through the obstacle between you and what you want to do. And so maybe it was one that I shared. Maybe it's one that just me talking about this has made you realize something that you can do to help you break through those obstacles. Whatever it is, I want you to post it in the comment and just share what you're planning to try to help you break through the obstacle. And again, it's okay if you're feeling like you don't want to participate. All right. So hopefully journaling. Wonderful, Rosie. I am a huge, I can't tell you how many times a day I advise a client. I find it is huge for me personally. If I just stop and write down, you can write down what the obstacle is. You can write down what you really want, like either of step 1 or step 2. And I am telling you, when you start to write it down and let it flow and journal about it already starts to shift. There's something, it is now outside of yourself, and you can already start to move it. And even in the process of writing, you can start to move it and see it differently and maybe see that it's just a story. So thank you so much. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, sometimes I think it's the same as just talking to myself in my brain, but it's not the same as writing it all out. It's so true. There's that separation when we write it out. There's just, yeah, that if it's in our brains, and if we're talking to ourselves, that's not such a bad thing. Like sometimes we can work things out, but there is something about writing. And there's probably brain science to support it. Um, something about the integration between the right brain and the left brain. Whatever it is, it works. It just helps you access other things and make sense of some of the limitations or the stories that we project on our lives that aren't even real. Right? These stories that bind us and hold us back from living out our dreams that aren't even real. There's actually something that I often talk about, The Work by Byron Katie. Some of you maybe heard, but sometimes we can just write it out and then write the question, is that true? And really, really looking and saying, like, is that absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt true that you can't obtain your dream because of blank? And just that investigation and writing it down can be so profound and helpful. So before we do the raffle draw or whatever we want to call it, again, it's not raffle. If anyone out there wants to name it something, I'm just going to be drawing names for those who are here live still. Before I do that, um, and you get a chance to either have an oracle card reading or a song, um, I just want to say thank you for being here tonight. I am so appreciative for the space to share this. That is my dream and that is what I'm passionate about. So any opportunity to help others and share this lights me up and makes me happy. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. And if you found something helpful today, I really, really want to stay connected. So, you can follow me on various things. If you're following me on Facebook, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, which also is where my podcasts are shown visually. You can follow me on Instagram at jenniferh.carey. Follow me, like me, subscribe, all the things. If you like emails and you're cool about being on my email list and you would like a free gift, which is 5 steps to get unstuck, you can sign up here. So I'm sending the link and you can click on that and you'll get a free gift, 5 ways to get unstuck. And then you'll also be on my email list, so you'll be up to date with anything, like things like this morning I wrote about this, and I wrote about a live panel that I'm having with other like-minded holistic professionals. So this Friday at noon, whether you can take a lunch break from work or you can fit it into your day somehow, I would absolutely love anyone to be a part of the panel that is interested. What is this panel? We are going to be talking about how creative and expressive arts are this amazing, fun way to help you break through the obstacles between you and your dreams. And we'll be talking about some of the brain science behind it. We will be talking about some of examples of doing it and just ways that we can illuminate the stories that are binding you and break through those stories through the use of creative and performing arts. So if you are craving creativity or craving connection or craving anything like that, please, please, please sign up for that. So that's there as well. I just put the link in the comments. So I think that's it. Are there any questions? Any questions before I do the draw for the OM prize? Does anyone have any questions that they want to ask me about something that I shared? Any questions? Okay. All right. So on here live, and I know sometimes I can't see everybody. So if that's the case, please put your name in, but I'm going to put Rosie in. And then the only other name I see right now is Laura. So if are there any other names? So maybe uh Laura and Rosie just saying here. So if you're still here, and then if there's anybody else with that's on here that I'm not seeing and you'd really like to have your name in a draw to either have an oracle card pulled from these Sacred Creators Oracle, or you would like your um, a song prescribed to you. Okay, so Rose is here. Yay. All right. Laura, are you still here? Is there anyone else here? And if not, Rosie, you may be the winner, which I'm so grateful for. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait like one more minute. Um, for those of you who would like your name to go in, and you can get a free oracle read or have a song prescribed. Otherwise, it's one and only Rosie. All right, Rosie, it's you. Do you see that? Do you see that? It's you. So tell me, Rosie, do you want oracle or do you want a song? Yay! So yeah, so it's you're gonna get an oracle. Oh, I'm excited to read you an oracle, Rosie. So if you want it to just be general, um, I will go ahead and I'm just going to do a general oracle pull for you. If there is something specific that you want me to hold, you're welcome to share it. But if not, I will just go ahead and read um, or pull and then read you an oracle. So, and it'll just be a general one because the oracle knows. The oracle knows without you telling me. Yes. Random. Let fate decide. I love it. I love it, Rosie. Love it. All right. So this is a general reading for Rosie. So, Rosie, do you want it pulled from the top, the middle, or the bottom? Middle all the way. I love it. All right. Oh, this is so nice. All right, I'm going to read it for you. You are light. Do you see it? You are light. So true. So true. You are light. And it's number 56. And all right, I'm going to read it for you. Okay. So the essential meaning is oh my goodness. Hold on a second. I was looking at the number pages. Hold on a second. Got it. The essential meaning for you are light is the light that vibrates from the core of your being, light worker love, pure energy. At the core of your cells and your atoms, you are tiny strings of vibrating light energy. This light interacts with other lights around it and emanates a signature that is only yours, Rosie. And your unique vibrational energy is needed in the world. True. Lightworker, you are needed. You will be the beam of light who casts luminous hope into the shadows. You will be the counterpoint, a brilliant crack in the veneer, a flickering of inspiration when things get difficult. And it's time to nurture and protect that light as you devote your life to something bigger than yourself. Work your soul's directive in any way that you can. Offer kindness to strangers on the street and radiate love, healing, and compassion from wherever you are. Even the line at the grocery store can become your own laboratory of light. Bring your fierce mission to serve into a role or position that doesn't call for servitude. Show us how to do it with more love. Trust that your light will be accepted even by those that don't understand it. Because through shiny eyes and a warm smile, you can bring your soul to work and light up a room with your presence. Fact. That's a fact, Rosie. That's so true. So there's more. What lights you up? Which we just answered. Can't make this stuff up. What makes your soul float? What feeling lies in the center of your soul's calling? How do you know you're a light worker? In what ways are you sharing your gifts with the world? In what ways are you opaquing your light? Opaquing your light. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. Does your ego hold on to any fears of being seen or judged, or of being too big, too awe inspiring, too self centered, or too successful? How can you shine your light anyway? Oh, that's so perfect for you. That's so perfect. I love it. Thank you, Rosie, and I'm so glad that you love everything about it. That was for you. That was for you, and I can attest that all of that was spot on for you. 100%. Because I have the honor of seeing your light and knowing it. So, oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you, Rosie, for being here and sticking through it. And thank you, everybody. And I'm so glad that was perfect for you, Rosie. I'm so glad. So, everyone, I am planning to make this time every week as much as possible. So I'm going to be scheduling Mondays. I see clients until 7 p.m. I'm still in my office. So probably 7:15 is the right time. So I am planning to continue to do this. And again, if you want to sign up for that panel, I would love to have you as part of the panel. Anyone who is seeing this, I put the link in here and I will try to make sure that it's in the recording. I know sometimes when they share the recording. So I will have that there. And that's Friday at noon, May 10th at noon. So thank you for being a part of this. Thank you, Rosie. And I am grateful to all of you who allowed me the space to share my dream. Take good care, everybody. Bye. You're welcome, Rosie. Thank you. Thank you for being here.